In this video, I'll attempt to recreate one of the hardest viral food trends in the world. Full credit for this idea goes to the Chinese Red Note account, 小白小磊小天才, which belongs to two creators who make edible sculptures using yogurt. The first time I saw their videos, I thought my brain was broken because I couldn't understand what was going on. I thought it was one of those AI-generated glass fruit videos, but then I realized they've painted dry yogurt to look like a photorealistic, transparent object. The creativity behind this method is mind-blowing. Back in summer, I spent a lot of time trying to create transparent fruits that you can slice with a knife, and this concept is a completely unexpected solution to the same problem. So even though this isn't technically an AI remake, it's extremely similar on a visual level. The first step is to make dry yogurt, which I've never done before. Though I have seen many videos of this, so I vaguely know it involves squeezing all the liquid out of normal yogurt. You'll need a strainer, yogurt, a cloth, and kitchen paper. The one I'm using here has little feet, which creates a gap so the liquid can drain away, and I'm going to place it inside a slightly bigger bowl. Most recipes call for cheesecloth, but I'm going to use a baby muslin, which I'm pretty sure works in exactly the same way. First, I'm spreading the cloth out and adding several layers of kitchen paper. Greek yogurt is supposedly the best because it's already quite thick, so you have less to drain. I'm using 1 kilo of yogurt here because I need a lot of material for this video. Then I'm wrapping everything up, placing it in the bowl, and adding some weights on top. This goes into the fridge for a bit. After 3 hours, I noticed that the cloth is completely wet, so I'm going to replace everything. The yogurt is noticeably thicker already, but it doesn't have that firm consistency that you can sculpt with. So I'm going to wrap it up in new paper towels and put it back in the fridge. You basically repeat this process until you have the desired consistency. After about 16 hours of draining, the yogurt has the same texture as cream cheese. This looks thick enough to work with, so I'm going to transfer it into a separate container. Then I'm going to do everything again with another kilo of yogurt. As you might have noticed, a lot of volume gets lost in this process, so you have to start with more than you think. All this took me about 2 days to make, and this is the amount you can expect from 2 kilos of yogurt. This is the same thing as labneh, which is a traditional Middle Eastern food. I was positively surprised at how easy it was. You can't really overstrain it, so the timing isn't so crucial. The result should have a texture somewhere between cream cheese and butter. This can easily be used for sculpting, which is why it's a favorite method for making viral food videos. I'm going to start with an apple, which is the easiest shape I can think of. I'm sculpting this freehand instead of using a mold, and I'm obviously wearing gloves to keep it hygienic. In the original Red Note clip, I thought they painted over a 3-dimensional object, but after going through their account, I realized they actually paint on a flat surface. This is a mind-boggling detail because it means the optical illusion is created entirely using color and shading. I'm using dental floss to slice away the front of the apple so I can have a flat canvas to work on. I made the decision to use watercolor paint for this because I simply don't have enough experience working with food coloring. In the original video, the painting was done with a palette knife and real yogurt. This DIY is already so tricky that I really don't want to add another level of difficulty on top. My plan is to simply slice away the topmost layer with the paint on it so I can still keep as much of the yogurt as possible. And of course, the reason for using watercolor is that the pigments don't stick to each other once dry. Acrylic paint forms a plastic skin, which is not ideal if you want the final piece to break apart nicely. I studied a lot of Frutiger Aero apple images to figure out where the light and shadows go. For a very simple shape like this, the shading is actually not too complicated. Start off by simply making it look 3-dimensional. The important thing is to leave a small area of white, which is what creates the illusion of transparency. Then add some dark shadows around the edge, especially near the base. The next step is simply painting a reflection in front of the apple that looks almost like a circular ripple with white bits showing through. This tricks the eye into thinking the object is transparent. Now go back and add very thin highlights over the darkest parts of the apple. And finally, you want to add one big rectangular highlight which mimics the reflection of a window. This is another trick commonly used in hyper-realistic water or glass paintings. The final important detail is that all the highlights should sit on a curve to emphasize the spherical shape of the apple. I left the very top part three-dimensional so I can still stick a real apple stem inside. In real life, this optical illusion only works if the apple is on a white plate because you're tricked into seeing the white parts of the yogurt as being transparent. The camera also needs to be angled so the top part of the apple doesn't stick up over the plate. It also helps if the entire background is white. I'm really happy with how my first attempt turned out. This method is such a tricky combination of 2D, 3D, and camera angling that it's very easy to mess up. The cutting itself is pretty straightforward because the illusion is only supposed to work until the knife goes through it. Then you can see that the object is simply a painting on yogurt. As mentioned earlier, I'm slicing away the layer that contains the watercolor and saving the remaining parts of the yogurt. This way, very little gets wasted despite using a non-edible paint. Now I want to increase the complexity of the shape. The best thing I can think of is my favorite ducky snowball mold. I washed it very well and I'm going to grease the inside with a layer of cooking oil. Then I'm pressing it into a big ball of yogurt, just like making a snowball. I realized that the yogurt sticks to the plastic a lot, so it's pretty tricky to release. However, the good thing about this DIY is that I don't need to have a perfect three-dimensional shape. It's enough to get half of the duck out, and I'm slicing away one side to create a flat surface for painting. You can see how this looks very obviously like a flat white object on a plate, but it's quite amazing to watch how the paint builds up that illusion of volume. I'm using the same shading principles from before, but adapting them to fit the contours of the duck. This took so long to paint that the yogurt started to melt a bit from the lights, and I got a small heart attack when the head fell off. But a huge advantage of this material is that you can reattach broken pieces fairly easily and just smooth everything out again. I also made a small mountain of yogurt in the back to support the head. I really love how this one turned out, and I felt a bit bad having to cut into it. Just like my other AI remakes, I want to add some ASMR sound effects on top. It's very tricky finding the correct cutting noise, and I've tried everything from real fruits to floral foam. This time, I discovered another format that could work. I coincidentally saw a video of someone cutting silk from an ASMR account, and the noise sounds incredibly similar to those glass fruit AI clips. So I bought a pair of fabric scissors and I'm recording myself cutting through different types of cloth. The next level of difficulty I want to try is having part of the table showing through the glass fruit. In the original clips, I noticed they added incredibly clever details, like painting the shadow from the plate so it feels like you're looking right through it. If I angle the camera like this, you can see that the top part of the pear sticks over the edge of the plate, so the wooden table behind it needs to be visible as well. I'm painting this using the same guidelines as the previous two, but it really is a lot harder to create the illusion of transparency over a different background. This is the final result, and I'm honestly not totally happy with it. It feels like I'm somehow missing an extra detail with the shadow and light that really brings everything together. However, that's too tricky to figure out right now, so I'm going to leave this as it is. For the final design, I want to try a red apple, loosely inspired by the niche fruits tabby squishies I've been making. Because I already have a bit of experience painting apples, this process went pretty well. I love how crisp the edges and highlights turned out. I find that if I'm not happy with the outer shape, I can use my finger to reshape the yogurt or change the perceived outline with paint. This is really interesting and unlike any other technique I've tried in the past. I also find that adding eyes tends to enhance the transparency because of that sharp contrast. And of course, it just looks way cuter. I feel that dry yogurt has a similar texture to Daiso clay, which is probably why people love watching it being cut or pressed apart. It reminds me of those painted Daiso clay slimes that people made many years ago. I hope you enjoyed this video and please subscribe for more. I'm Joanna, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!